COVID has taken a lot away from our high school athletes, and now another hurdle to clear. They are now required to get tested for COVID. A decision just announced on Monday, and wrestlers hit the mat in Pueblo beginning tomorrow. Our Colette Bordelon live in the Springs tonight, breaking down local reaction to this new state requirement. Colette.
The timing of the state's announcement, that's what so many Southern Colorado coaches are telling me was so problematic. But they also say they'll do what they can to make sure their players make it to the mat. Last year, no one could have predicted.
Normally, we got our stands full of people. The lights are down, you could just hear everybody.
How the state wrestling championships would look this year.
There's no enthusiasm.
But Mesa Ridge sophomore Matthew Moore will be competing regardless, now that he's taken his COVID test, which is required.
A lot of stress that we don't really need.
He'll be there with his teammate, Isabella Cross.
A lot of the rules just don't really make sense, like when you can't shake hands with the other person even though you're wrestling them.
She had to get her COVID test quickly after the state pointed out there have been 15 outbreaks associated with wrestling and 61 cases of COVID.
I want negative tests in hand when we walk in the door.
The head wrestling coach at Mesa Ridge says he understands the precautions. Athletes can also get tested on site. That could take around 45 minutes. And any positive results will be asked to leave if they can.
It was a little rough that it came on Monday evening and we had to piece it together in a couple days.
But he says the timing of the state could have been better since no testing was required just last week for qualifying tournaments.
Maybe had they told us, hey, if you qualify, you have to do this, so people could have been prepared and they could have maybe been budgeting, because if they end up having to, because with the timing of it, some of the tests that are free are a little slower.
Still, what they wanted was a championship.
It can be an excuse, it can get in your way, or it can just be some cool story to tell at the end when you're a champion.
And COVID wasn't going to stop them. Athletes only have to get tested the one time before competing, but it does have to be within 72 hours of their match. Now, any positive test results will not be allowed to compete, even if in theory it could be a false positive test result. Always watching out for you, Southern Colorado. Colette Bordelon, News 5.